I'm Angela Cripps. This is one of our sourcing coaches, Vanessa Raath. Good morning, Vanessa.
Hey, how you doing? Good to be back. Thank you for having me.
Well, I have put in the chat actually, fresh off of your wonderful appearance on the African special. So thank you for helping us
It
organise that on Ask the Coach. It was brilliant.
was good
Loved
fun.
it. I
Yeah.
got kicked off twice and you just carried on. There is a
I just thought
post.
that hysterical.
What was that?
I thought it was hysterical because it's normally the South Africans that have power issues and internet issues, and here we had, the one person sitting in London being kicked off.
I know, I still haven't worked it out. I think it was I'd just done a presentation to a company on Zoom, and I don't think I'd shut the Zoom down because I literally skipped from one to the other. And
Yeah.
I think the two were running. My laptop just got hot and it had a hot flush and it just didn't want to know. But there you go, these things happen, don't they? So hopefully I will stay here. But if not, I know you are very capable of just cracking on and doing that yourself. So who's
As I
Sarah this
did.
morning? Sarah, lovely, the
Hello, Sarah.
Norfolk Coastal Coach. I've probably not got that right, but yes. Sarah,
Excellent.
looking forward to this. Been a lot going on with LinkedIn. Oh my goodness, you are right.
Yeah.
Definitely. I don't know if I did get it right. Norfolk Coastal.
Good.
There we
And
go.
there's Andrea as well, and Charlotte. So good to see you guys. Thanks for your
Fabulous.
support.
Yeah, do say hello if you are there in the chat. And
Yeah, who
we're
else
over
is
on
here?
LinkedIn as well. So if you're there, feel free to click on the Crowdcast, come and join us there. But if not, put your comments into the chat in the comments on LinkedIn, and we'll be happy to answer any of your questions. So let's just do a quick recap. Monday, we had Rohit Kapoor from Pager,
Yep.
who delved into Richard van der Blom's algorithm report and was picking up on some of the key points from there, as well as what else has been going on with regards to LinkedIn. Tuesday, we had Catherine, our other sourcing coach, and she was looking at the SEO because the profiles have changed. LinkedIn have changed the way that you're viewed, and that does affect your search engine optimization. So she gave some great tips on how to make sure that people could still find you with the information that you want to get across. And then yesterday we had the man himself, Richard van der Blom, with his 123-page LinkedIn
Have you read it?
algorithm. I haven't read it all, but I have read the 16 key points that he's pulled out for it. So we had them on yesterday's session. So do go back into the lobby and pick the Valentine's Day session, the 14th, so that you'll be able to pick up on that, because, oh my goodness, yes, there is so much in there, isn't there? So
Yeah.
I know that you today are going to be looking at it from a sourcing point of view, as an overview. So let's crack on then. What are some of the key things that you've noticed?
So one of the things that I did, I've actually managed, I don't know what's been happening, but I've actually managed to catch every daily workout this week, which has been great. I always learn myself. So a couple of things. I am going to be extending on what Catherine said about, certain information on your LinkedIn profile being restricted, which for me is just a bizarre thing for LinkedIn to have done. But I wanted to, before we get onto there, yesterday's session, I did exactly what you discussed with Richard, which was, how do you boost your post? How do you get your post to perform better and appear in more news feeds? And one of the ways was to keep conversation going on your post. So I actually made a point of doing that yesterday on yesterday's post, and my engagement was actually way better. So I can actually show you. Remember when we looked at this last week, and you could look at how the different kind of posts were performing. I can share my screen with you now. Just hold on a second. And did you find that with having more posts? Did you?
Yes. So it was looking back at the last 3 months, or I looked at the last year, and I always notice a difference when we do Meet Your Recruiter. There's always a big spike when we do that. So I know that's in there already. But yeah, picking out the post that's done the best, and then actually reiterating that and taking that element. And mine wasn't as work related, actually. So I think Friday I'll probably do that and see what's happened. But what did you see? Let's have a look.
Okay, so what I did was, and can you see my screen? Are we good?
Yeah, we're good.
Okay, perfect. So if we just look at the last 7 days of posts, and bearing, you look at like a time perspective now, yesterday's post is actually probably going to accelerate and beat Monday's post because of all of the conversations that were happening. So there was a lot already on Monday, but you can see the comments, and every time someone commented, I commented and tried to ask a question yesterday. So I managed to get that post to 58 comments, where my comments normally sit around 35, 40. But by pushing the comments, I've actually managed to increase the impressions there.
Fantastic. Okay. And that's what I was saying, wasn't it? That you need to sort of train people to know when your posts are coming out. So do it at the same time. It trains the algorithm as well. People are more likely to see it if it's at the same time. But also you've got to hang around for 5, 10, 15 minutes and engage. Now, I find I tend to pin that day's post to the left-hand side of all my tabs. And I actually go back to it maybe once an hour. When the days that I've posted, just so that
I actually, when I post, I try and make sure I've got a good half an hour so I can comment on everything, and I go back to it regularly. Obviously not, in between meetings or training sessions. But even here, what I like to do is go back for 30 days. So at least once a week, go back on 30 days worth of posts, because LinkedIn's also started a week after you've posted, they're actually boosting that post. So it gets a little bit of a kick after a week. So it's always good to go back and have a look at which posts, you are performing well, and then analyze the number of comments versus reactions versus reposts, and how is that affecting the algorithm?
Yeah.
Makes sense.
So again, that interaction, that's what it's rewarding us for, isn't it? Making sure that you are replying. One thing that hit home with me yesterday, when he says you tag people and they don't reply. So again, if you do know that person really well, then maybe giving them a little push.
Give them a nudge.
Please can you either like or comment, because it's then going to go against you. If you're tagging loads of people, and I did see a post yesterday where the comments, they'd tagged about 10 people, maybe 15, and done 3 or 4 of those. So there must have been 60 odd people that were tagged. And you think
it's just spam.
The likelihood of them actually commenting is pretty minimal. I try and keep it to 3 or 4. It just depends on what it is. So I'll be posting about the Recruitment Agency Expo.
I think if it's relevant, then it's all right. I mean, I find I get tagged by people I don't even know.
Oh, okay.
And then I'm like, who are you? Why are you tagging me?
Yeah. So, I mean, you're going to have a look because you're tagged in it. But I guess the thing then is don't interact, because otherwise you're going to get that, keep coming back all the time. And the whole point that Richard was sharing was these changes are so that you get to the right marketplace, that you are exactly people that are relevant, that are going to see your post. Yes, we all get frustrated. We want people to see what we're doing. We put a lot of time and effort into our LinkedIn. But if it is irrelevant people, like you saying someone tagging you that it's not even relevant, we don't want to be spending our time on that. Ain't nobody got time for that.
Exactly. So other things that I want to just highlight that's changed on LinkedIn. If you have a look at my profile over there, you'll see there's like a yellow block that says top recruiting voice. So LinkedIn are also trying to, it's almost like a gamification, which they're doing at the moment. So have you seen in your newsfeed, it pops up with a question every now and again, and it says, we would like your opinion on this, or you've been selected to answer this question.
Yes.
Now, if you answer,
am I meant to be doing it more?
So if you see that, you should be getting involved, because if you answer 3 under the same banner, and the banner would be mine is recruiting, okay, or it could be supply chain, or it could be marketing, whatever your thing is, you will become a top recruiting voice. So you only have to do 3, and this isn't permanent. This actually goes away after 3 months. But the nice thing is that with the way that we can search now changing on LinkedIn, because some of the information is being restricted, which I'm getting into, that is something that you can search by what people are saying and their comments as the subject matter experts in that space. So if you want to stand out even more, pay attention to that in your newsfeed and go and comment and add your 2p's worth. Or 2 cents, wherever you are.
I'm feeling affronted because I think I answered 4 or 5.
but maybe not in the same category.
Well, they were all under the same thing. It was a couple of weeks ago now. I can't remember what it was, but I will keep a
But go and
lookout for
double
that,
check.
and I will do it again.
Yes, and remember, it doesn't last forever. So I'm monitoring mine at the moment. So it's been there for a while, but that's also a way to stand out, because when people search, those results still pop up.
And do they invite everyone?
I don't know, because I can't see everyone's news feeds, but for me, I think they probably would. I think a lot of people ignore it.
Yeah. Well,
I think everyone's given a fair chance. I ignored it for a long time until I realized that actually there's a benefit to this.
Yeah. There's someone there that says they've been invited to comment, but it's not. Is it you, Sarah? Because it's not coming up with a name. So yeah.
No, it's Sarah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. So other people. But again, Sarah's quite a big voice on LinkedIn as well. I mean, it makes sense that they do sort of maybe have some criteria for it.
So if you're looking to get it to switch to coaching, Sarah, go and actually run a search to find the coaching questions. And then it will, you can go and answer those in that specific area. Yeah, exactly. And that's probably because of the engagement pod that you're in is very much HR and recruitment focused, not always coaching. So as soon as you do one coaching, answering the questions, then it will be a bit more relevant, because you can select the topics.
Brilliant.
So top voice recruiting. So if you go over here, you can learn more about this. There we go. So it gives you the information about it. And then it says over here, normally tells you where you can carousels, add a title, it's somewhere here where you can actually go and search and say, I want to go and comment in this area. So next time it appears in your news feed, I haven't had one for a while to show you, you can go and have a look at that. You can choose how to display your badge using the pencil at the top of your profile. So this could also be linked into this. So let me just try this as an option, Sarah. You go to your network over here, and you choose your community top voice badge. So I've been given the recruiting option, but what it's linked to, I would presume, is your industry. So maybe if you go and change your industry on LinkedIn in the background to coaching, you will get more questions in that space. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think there's only management consulting. I don't think there's
coaching. No, there's lots of different topics.
Yeah.
So change your industry on your profile, and then they should throw those kind of questions your way.
Great. Okay. Now, sometimes I am searching for people on talks about recruitment, but I'm looking at yours, and usually that would be in that area, but you haven't got that on yours. Is that a conscious reason?
Top recruiting voice, that one over there?
No, the hashtags, where you can pick what you
so remember the creator mode, they're changing the creator mode. So the hashtags are not relevant anymore. So I used to have keynote speaker, recruiter, AR, and they've actually been removed.
But you can still
because they're trying to do away with creator mode too, LinkedIn.
Oh. See, this is where I learn this stuff, and it's like, no, I've only just started utilizing.
I know it's very frustrating, because what creator mode used to do is it gave you the different events, the creator tools, which you can still see, but it also gave you those hashtags, which you can see now have been removed from our profiles. So maybe you could try and see running searches on people in recruiting voice and find them that way, Angela.
You know what? I hadn't even noticed that, because they've still got it in the search, because I used it yesterday, so I know that's still there. I hadn't noticed that they've taken it off of your profiles. I'm looking at mine now. It's like, oh no, mine's still there. So
you still got hashtags. That's interesting.
I've still got hashtags. That's what's confusing me. But then again, when they do these rollouts, they don't always do them in.
They do it in different geographies.
Yeah,
and then that's how they change it. So I got an email probably about a month ago saying creator mode is no longer. We're starting to offboard people from here, so they will disappear within time.
Well, thank you
The
for
other
that. That won't be a
information,
shock now when that happens, and I think something's gone wrong.
so you've done something wrong. So another thing is, from a search perspective on LinkedIn, what has been redacted and what is not showing on people's profiles anymore are people's names and headlines. So that's going to make it very difficult to search. So if you want to test it out, change your headline, and then you can go and run a search, go and run an X-ray from a search engine. And they've also removed two major sections, which is the about, because remember, Catherine was saying you can only see the first 90
Yeah, so
characters
they've not
there,
removed it
90
on
words.
LinkedIn, they've removed it.
Yeah, so it's
from the
not
search.
searchable. And your experience, which is obviously all of your jobs, and your education. So for me, that makes it really difficult to try and search into the platform. So now you've got to start thinking about commenting on those on those questions that are coming up, because those you're going to be found by being the subject matter expert in the recruiting or the coaching space. And also things that were not removed, things like licenses and certifications, projects, your volunteer work, your skills, recommendations. I mean, I still put a lot of emphasis on getting recommendations, your publications, honors and awards. So my advice is to actually just share, what you are, what you can in other places. So you're almost distributing the information in what has been restricted and redacted in different places on your profile.
Yeah. So if you didn't see Tuesdays, go back to Tuesdays. Catherine went into all of the details on that and how you can try and make it better for you, because I mean I get it, because we were doing X-ray searches on LinkedIn from Google, and it would pick up all of that information. You could source people really easily by doing that, and of course they're losing money.
Absolutely, it's a business at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So there is Hung's actually doing a massive recruiting brain food tomorrow. I'm going to be one of the guests with people that you should be following around this and the X-ray space, like Irina Shameva, Marcel van der Meer, Balash is going to be on there. Who's up? Mark Santoro, all on tomorrow afternoon, 2 p.m. UK time, 4 p.m. South Africa time, and I think it's going to be a really good discussion about kind of like what now. And I see Andrea also sharing in the chat that he's also put in a...
and he's called it Bye Bye LinkedIn X-Ray. Brilliant. We'll put that
Thank you.
On the...
So my saving grace for this is that at least we can still X-ray. It's just the platforms are changing.
Yeah. So if we can get everyone to watch our videos this week and adapt, then we might still be okay, everyone. So we do need to put a little bit of time and effort into that, because otherwise, you could be missing out totally on people finding you. Wonderful. Always great. Always learn something. Thank you.
Thank you. Absolute pleasure. Then I'll see you back here on Monday.
Well, do you want to say what you're up to next week?
So next week I'm here every day, 11 o'clock in the morning South Africa time, 9 o'clock UK time, and I am taking over the daily workouts. I'm hijacking it, and I'm doing a week of podcasts. So I'm interviewing podcasts in our space and people who putting them on, and it's going to be super interesting. And I'm starting the week with a bang on Monday with your new podcast, Angela.
Yeah, fantastic.
So that's great. And we finish on Friday with Sarah, who's in the chat at the moment, and her podcast.
Wonderful. Oh yes, that's going to be amazing. We've also got Firefishes, so Wendy's going to be on, isn't she?
Yes, we've got Christina from Green Umbrella, and on Wednesday we've got Claire, mental health coach.
Yes. Hers has been going a long time. Our hiring happenings, I feel a bit guilty. We've only had the one episode yet, but we have got over 100 episodes on our podcast. It's not like it's not been going. There's no other stuff on there to have a look.
No need to be guilty at all.
Oh, Kaz saying she picked it up on YouTube. So is that the hiring happenings? So
which one did you pick up on YouTube, Kaz?
We've got the economics coming out this week, and typically we have to record it a little bit earlier. Not this week. It comes out at the end of the month. We had to record it a little bit earlier because of holidays and people away. But we have heard today, unfortunately, last quarter we were minus on the GDP. So if we get another quarter like that in the UK, we are technically in recession. I'm hoping though, because everyone I've spoken to, it was really tough at the end of the last year, really, really tough. But
Yep.
it started this year with a bang. So
Yes,
we're
everyone
halfway
seems
through.
busy.
Yeah, we're literally
Yeah.
halfway through, aren't we, the month? So
Yep.
fingers crossed we actually pull ourselves out of it in this next half and it all does kick off. And hopefully that's a kick for everyone to say, right, let's be positive, let's get on with it, because we don't want to be in that situation. That's a whole other ball game that we'll come
100%.
back to. Right, okay. Jerry Smith is saying, thanks to the team. That must be over on LinkedIn.
Thanks, Jerry. Yep.
Charlotte's name. Kaz is looking forward to the podcast for next week.
Excellent.
Let's finish with Sarah. Sarah's been a great contributor this morning. Always time to think differently and change things. Always look to the positive.
100%. Exactly.
Thanks, everyone. I'll be back with a review of the week tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Thank you.